What's up guys, LyonLife here, and welcome back to another Wuthering Waves video. You know, every time I say that name, I'm always this close to saying Wuthering Waves. I think my brain is trying to connect Weathering with You with this game, and it's just not it. But, however, that's a good movie, go check it out. So today a new character's information got released, so we're going to take a look at all the details here today and look over the kit and see how we feel about it. But before we do that, make sure you guys like and subscribe, as I'm trying to hit some goals here on the channel, and I would really appreciate you guys help out with that. Alright, so go ahead and jumping on into it. Looks like here the character's name is going to be Anke and K, one or the other. I'm sure we'll find out as time goes on. But it says here that Anke is a member of the Black Shores Union, who's always accompanied by two woolies. Her cheerfulness brings everyone joy, yet few know of her fears when faced with darkness. Alright, so as we can see here, very much kid, very much child. She's very cute and adorable though, I will tell you that. But the woolly she is accompanied by looks like just this one, but it says woolies like it's plural. Is there two of them? I'm assuming this white one right here is probably that. But yeah, very cute design. Honestly, I like this a lot. I do. She's very, very adorable, very cute. Pink hair is nice on her, honestly. And the overall design I really like. I'm always wondering, a lot of the characters have these little symbols right here. I'm assuming this is like one of those like resonance things on their back, and it's like on their bodies in general. There's probably a meaning for that, I'm sure. Maybe I haven't looked too deep into the lore yet, but I'm sure there's a reason as to why the characters seem to have these sort of markings on their bodies. We have the in-game demo here, which is pretty much just her standard pose, and as you can see, she's just jumping around and having a good old time, and that's the woolly. Okay, so I'm wondering if it's like two separate woolies, or do they like interchange the form or something and they split, or maybe they fuse together, one or the other, I'm assuming. But yeah, you can tell, look at her whole demeanor, her way she's acting, her behavior, very much kid, very much child, just enjoying herself and like enjoying her like essentially stuffed animal, right? It's really cute to see. I like it a lot. I really do. Okay, so the first attack that we have here looks to be her normal attack. It's called Woolly's Rollout. It says it summons Cloudy and Cosmos to perform multiple combo attacks. So as you can kind of see in the animation here, she throws them out one at a time, and then they come back and do a swirl animation and kind of suck the enemy in a little bit too, it seems like, pulls them in towards Anke. And then the crazy thing is, at the end of it, you can see the little light show. There's a figure of the full woolly together. I guess like the combined form, I'm assuming. That's really cool to see. But one thing that I'm looking at as I'm like watching is that I figured the woolies are her weapon themselves, but I guess what's on her shoulder on the back right there, I'm assuming that's her actual weapon. So whenever we see character weapons and equip them, that's what we're actually equipping. So in this case, she's not getting like a new woolly cosmetic or something like that. So I wonder what that's called. I wonder what that is, but looks pretty cool. You know, little standard combo attack. Not mad at it whatsoever. All right, so next we have her resonance skill. It looks like it's called Woolly Snip Snap. These names. It says summons Cloudy and Cosmos to unleash crossing beams that cut through foes. Okay, so it does look like, yeah, she does throw out both of the woolies on the left and the right hand side there, and they do shoot down those two beams. At the end of it, looks like there's like an AoE effect at the end, kind of like surrounding the enemy, like, or a blast of some kind. But it looks like also, maybe I'm tripping, that she's also shooting something out in front of her. Maybe that's her weapon. I don't know. It looks like it to me. But like, cause she jumps up in the air and it looks like she's like blasting something. I could be wrong. Maybe it's just, you know, from the angle that we're seeing it at. But it kind of looks like she is shooting something. But I could be wrong. But looks cool. All right. So the last bit of her kit that we have here seems to be called Resonance Liberation, which is probably just the term for her ultimate skill. It looks like it's called Woolly Frenzy. It says Anke struggles and fails to suppress the power of Cosmos, entering the state of frenzy. They begin to attack foes frantically. Okay, so Cosmos is the black lamb, or black sheep, whatever they are, lamb, I guess, but fails to suppress the power of Cosmos. So are the two lambs like keeping her in some sort of like balance? Is that what it is? Like when they're both okay or whatever, like that's just keeping her in a normal state, but then I guess the black one, I don't know, makes her a little bit more angry, or something happens that triggers it to cause her to be like, cause the white one to be less than. But I don't know, maybe I'm not putting in the best words for that, but that's what it seems to be, because it just signals out the white one altogether and just says the black one, Cosmos, is what causes her to give in to this mode, to this frenzy. So I'm assuming the white one, for whatever reason, has less of an influence in this moment, and then that's what triggers her ult. Possibly, maybe, don't know. But you can see the black one gets right there in front of her, and then she's like puts the paws up, ready to put hands on somebody, and then she goes right on in and just messes up the enemy right away. It's cool. I like the skill a lot. Animation probably isn't one of my favorites for the ults that we've seen so far, but it's pretty cool still. Now, I will say that I like the idea of a character like going into a frenzy, like something breaks down on the inside of them and causes them to have some sort of like triggered snap moment. I do like the idea of that. I wonder if there's going to be like some sort of factor that causes it, or is it just basically she builds up energy through combat, and then that you can just trigger the ult no problem. It would be really cool if there has to be some sort of condition set for it, like if she has to take damage or something like that. Maybe that could be the trigger, but who knows? We'll see as time goes on. And then next, it looks like we have some basic details of Anke. It shows her weapon. Her weapon name is actually called an Oralator. Her concerto element is going to be fusion. Her affiliation is going to be for the Black Shores, and her birthday, March 21st. Hey, she's an Aries. Aries gang gang. Maybe I might have to change my mind to see if I want her or not, just based off the Zodiac alone. So here we go. Looks like we're gonna be getting to, this is the more like detailed information about her. So it says inspection report, forte examination report. No family residence history. Visible signs of structural mutation detected within subject's genome sequencing. Resonance change shows signs of splicing, verified as an acquired resonator. Subject shows no obvious mutation characteristics during a regular state. However, when under the state of frenzy, mutation outgrowth resembling that of sheep horns emerges from subject's head. This phenomenon ceases when she returns to a state of tranquility. The true nature of the two lamb dolls accompanying her remains unknown, and they're suspected to be the mimicry of subject's personality through forte. The behavior of the white lamb doll tends to be well-behaved and disciplined, while the black lamb doll tends to be more chaotic and rebellious. Details require further observation. So kind of what I'm gathering is that maybe she was just like found somewhere. Maybe there's a group of people who were looking for those individuals that probably had some sort of ability or had this like resonance within them, and then somehow they found her and then brought her in. So it's very much saying that like she's a test subject from just like the data that it's showing here. I think at least that's how I'm interpreting it. It's very much, like I said, looking as if like someone found her, they're like experimenting a little bit and just seeing what they can do and how much they can push possibly. And then next we've got the overclock evaluation report. It says resonance criticality relatively high, yet shows low stability with high risk of overclocking. I might need to figure out, I don't know, have we seen what overclocking means? Maybe I haven't seen it yet. I'll have to look into that later. Or if anyone knows, let me know down below in the comments. And then next it says mental state analysis. According to the subject's oral accounts, she had numerous experiences of entering into a state of frenzy. Nevertheless, based on the test results, subject now bears a certain degree of self-control over this condition. Physiological state analysis. The subject is still in her early period of development. The low stability observed is correlated with the growth of her body, and further observation is required. And the overall diagnosis is, as of writing this report, subject has experienced numerous overclocking cases in the past. Strict monitoring is advised. That's really interesting, because that to me just seems like she's probably constantly going into this overclock, or maybe the frenzy state. I'm assuming the overclock is the frenzy state that they're talking about, and that's just like the fancy term for it. But it's whatever's going on with her, it's happening quite often, and maybe she's just like destroying things or something like that. But I'm wondering what like the root cause of it is, you know. I'm sure once we probably get into the game and get to experience her, maybe she'll have like a specific character story. We'll probably get to see a lot more of what's going on with that, and I have a feeling it's gonna be like probably dark and probably sad, probably gonna cry. We'll find out. But that's what, at least the idea that I'm giving is that like she used to be, or still is, a test subject of some kind, and they're running all these tests to like push the boundaries and see how much she can, I guess, take, or trying to figure out how much power she exactly has. And apparently, according to what we're reading here, it's probably quite a bit. So little girl's probably pulling out here a whole carry, and we don't even know it. Lastly, it looks like we have some more information about Anke. Specifically here, it shows the woolly dolls. It says the cherished item is the dolls. The woolly dolls gifted to Anke by her foster parents. When her emotions become unstable, Anke will count sheep to ease her sense of losing control. The woolies are not only projections of Anke's personality, but also important treasures in her life. Got it. So what I imagine it is that she probably imbues some sort of power into the dolls, but they were just regular dolls when they were given to our parents. So just somehow her abilities or her powers were able to be poured into those dolls and kind of probably became like her friends, right? Like if she's by herself, that's probably all that she had was just those 2 dolls to, like, again, keep her sane. As it said, she used both of them to ease her sense of losing control, and that's the way she does it to cope, is those 2 lamps. And then we've got some thoughts from Anke. It says, "It really hurts to forget everything, doesn't it? I know how you feel." Well, because Anke's just like you, after waking up inside Black Shores, I couldn't remember anything. It's like, cooking without the main ingredient. It's just not how the dish is supposed to be. That's kind of crazy. Like, she's just obviously aware there's like something missing within her. That's so sad. Cause like, this is a little girl. Like at the end of the day, this is a little girl and she's having like deep ass thoughts like that. That's crazy to me. And then that's gonna be it for the character profile for Anke, guys. Honestly, it's pretty cool. I like this character a lot. I like her, how adorable she is for one. She's pretty much like your typical, I would presume to be like your child LOLI character. Honestly, these aren't really normally my type of characters. I've never really been someone who's really into that type of aesthetic. I know some of y'all are, but that's a whole other thing. To each their own. But overall, I'm really excited to see more about Anke's story and who she is as a person, as a character, within the game, within the world itself, because obviously some things are happening. There's some stuff going down where people were apparently, experimenting on kids, and like it's no big deal. So I think that'll be something really cool to explore in the future, and hopefully we can get a lot more detail about it. And with that being said, guys, thanks so much for watching another video. I really appreciate that. You guys showed some really good support on the first video that I made for Wuthering Waves, so I'll definitely be keeping that up and making some more content for the game going in the future. Definitely like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'd really appreciate it. And then for you guys, let me know how you feel down below. Do you like Anke? Do you like her design, her overall story, her gameplay, whatever it is? Let me know and we'll talk about it in the comments down below. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.